Welcome back to another episode of me telling you about investing in real estate. This episode is a little bit different. I want to talk to you about this is more for somebody who already owns a property. I want to share 3 reasons why the winter is a great time to sell your property. Number 1 is if you are thinking about selling your property and in the winter, a lot of people are afraid of selling during that time because they want to wait for the spring market, they want to see more price increases and stuff. But the truth is, if you are selling your property in the winter, you are going to have less competition. The people that are putting the houses in the market in the winter time are not, everybody's thinking the same, right? Everybody's saying, well, I'm going to wait for the spring market, I'm going to wait for the summer, I'm going to wait for the fall. Winter is the time where people, the sellers that put their houses in the market are people who are serious about selling, and they won't be competing with the neighbor next door, because springtime comes and everybody's thinking, oh, maybe I should move, I should put my house in the market to see what happens. If you're putting your house in the market, you are not competing with those people who are just trying to see what the market is telling them, okay? That's number 1. You won't have as much competition in the market. Number 2 is you will only find serious buyers. Kind of the same way what I was saying, if a seller puts the house in the market is because they're serious about selling the property. A buyer that is not serious about purchasing the property, they are not going to be out there looking at homes. They're not going to be going to an open house on a Saturday or a Sunday because it's cold. Nobody wants to go out when it's super cold. They want to, if they're looking at properties, they're 100% sure they want to buy. They might buy your house or the other house, but the benefit is they won't have too many choices because you're not competing with your next door neighbor. So if you put a house in the market, it's like, okay, here you go. I'm very serious. I want to sell my property. And the people that are going to come and see your property are people who are very serious about purchasing your home. So you definitely want to keep that in mind when thinking about selling your house in the summer. I mean, in the winter. Sorry. This is one of the benefits of selling your house in the winter time, because you're not gonna get people who are just kicking tires. Think about it. It's the springtime. The sun is out. It's beautiful weather. What do people want to do on a Sunday afternoon? They want to look at some properties. They want to go and just look at homes. They might not be thinking about buying. They might not be thinking about doing anything. They see a house in Redfin or Zillow that came in the market. It's April 15th. They're like, oh, let me see. Let me request a showing. I want to go see it. They call a realtor. It's like, we're not thinking about moving, but we would love to take a look at the layout. We just want to get some ideas. And you're not gonna get that in the wintertime. The wintertime is like serious buyers only. These are the buyers who have been looking at the market. They're seeing what's out there. They already saw everything that's out there. When your property comes to the market, they're like, okay, this is our chance. Let's go take a look at it and see if this property is a good fit. And if the property is a good fit, if you're priced right and your property is in great conditions, these people will be making an offer. There is a buyer out there for every property, but the buyers that are looking in the wintertime, when it's cold and it gets dark at 5 o'clock, that's when these people are serious about buying a home. So you just gotta keep that in mind when you are thinking about selling your home in the winter. Instead of waiting in the spring market, you wanna get ready and get it sold. It depends, everybody's goals is different. You might have kids in school that you want to wait until they graduate, or you want to move out. Then it's completely understandable. But if you're just waiting because you want to, quote unquote, time the market, nobody has ever timed the market correctly. I mean, if you would have timed the market, the time where the market was its highest was June 2021. I'm trying to think. I don't want to mess that up. June 2021. That was June 2022. That's when the market peaked. That was the house is June 2022. And you can look this up for a fact. That's when the market peaked. That's when the house sold the most expensive. So if you're looking at your home and you're seeing a sales estimate or whatever, and you're saying, well, my house was worth $700,000. How come my neighbor sold the house in 2022 for this amount? I should be able to sell my house for that much. I'm just gonna wait for one more year. That is called FOMO, fear of missing out. You missed out on the price that you could sell that property, but you probably weren't thinking about selling that then. So that wasn't your timeline. You weren't ready to sell. So that wasn't your timeline. You have to focus on what your goals and timeline is. If you're thinking about selling your house now and you just want to wait for the fun of it, you do not want to wait for too long, okay? And number 3 would be, if you're buying, also think about this. If you are also thinking about moving, you're moving up or you're downsizing or whatever you're doing with your current situation, is if you move in the spring, you're gonna be competing against, other than you're gonna have a bunch of neighbors selling their houses at the same time as you will also be competing against all these people who are making offers, who they're, like I said earlier, they're just kicking tires. They want to, if you're trying to find that deal, it's gonna be very hard to find in the spring market, because remember, it's more people out there looking, and sellers get a little bit overconfident, saying, well, we've got 20 showings, so I should be able to get 2 offers. And I've noticed in the experience I've had, for every 6 to 8 showings, you get an offer, right? If you get 14 showings and you don't have an offer, that means your house is overpriced or the condition of the house doesn't match. Pretty much everything comes down to price. That is the issue. If your house is magnificent, the best in the neighborhood, so yeah, you deserve to be the best in the neighborhood based on the comps of the properties that have sold in the last 6 months. But if your property needs work and is not in the best condition, so then, and your price like the house next door, then you might not be where you want to be. So these are the 3 reasons why you want to sell in wintertime. Winter's coming. It's you are not going to have as much competition when you're making an offer on the other property. But let's say you're saying, well, I'm moving to Florida, I'm moving out of the States, it doesn't matter. But it's like, okay, so we go back to your timeline. Is your goal to move in? Is your goal to sell your property? Or you just want to see if you can time the market? Like I said, it's almost impossible to time the market. You have to get on a time machine and go back. This is kind of like same with buyers that have been in the fence and they have not bought a property because they want to wait until the interest rate come down or the market crashes. That hasn't happened, and most likely it won't happen anytime soon. So trying to time the market is very, very, very hard, almost impossible. So if your timeline is, okay, I want to move out of the States in May, so then yeah, it doesn't make sense for you to sell in the summer. But if you're like, well, I just got a job transfer, I'm gonna move, and I gotta move in 2 months, but my family's gonna stay here while I sell the property in the spring because I want to take advantage of that. That is ludicrous. You want to take advantage of whatever your goals and timelines are. And I just gave you a quick rundown on the benefits of selling your property in the winter. One is you won't have competition. You will put your house in the market, and not everybody's putting their houses in the market on that time. Nobody's trying to see what the market is telling them. They're like, oh, I'm gonna put my house in the market and see what happens. It's like, no, people who put their houses in the market in the spring, the winter time, they are serious sellers. And this is because almost all of these reasons go hand in hand. Number 2 is you're not gonna have people kicking tires. You're gonna have people, serious buyers who are ready to make a move and write offers on your property. Nobody's gonna go look at properties at 6 p.m. when it's pitch dark and it's like, oh, I'm just trying to get an idea of the layout. No, these people are serious. They really want to move. And the other one is you won't be competing if you're trying to buy a property. You won't have to write 20 offers to win one property. You will take advantage of all that altogether because, like I said, in the spring market, you might get 20 sellers might get 20 showings and only get 2 or 3 offers. Where in the wintertime, all of these people, they get 10 showings and they might get 2 offers because they are serious about what they want to do. They want to invest, they want to buy a house. They're not, like I said, they're not out there trying to get ideas of the garden, the lawn, or what you did in the basement. No, these people are like going into your house, they're picturing themselves living there and saying, okay, this house will work for me, that house will not work for me, and I'm out. Or we're gonna write an offer right now. That's what happened in the winter time. So stop trying to time the market, and if your timeline aligns with you selling in the winter time, now it's a great time to sell winter time and be great.